Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I'm here to share with you my day 8, and then I'm going to jump and share with you my day 11 as well. Day 8 is a very easy one. I simply fussy cut out that poinsettia that I did for day 7, and I'm simply going to back it on the half circle that I used. The pattern paper is actually the pattern paper that was in addition to the poinsettia, so it was a 10 by 8 piece of pattern paper that came in this year's extra pattern paper for the December daily release. And I knew I was going to fussy cut out this to begin with. And so I had the extra, and when I had gone to my day 7, I just decided that was what I was going to use. So when I laid that, when I just laid it back on top, it looked perfectly, but I still have that fussy cut out feel to it. And I'm very, very happy with how that turned out. And I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm not going to add anything to it. It's just going to be a bit of a resting spot in my album. And then for day 8, I'm simply going to go ahead and cut one of the page protectors that are the 4x4, 3x4, sorry, excuse me, the 3x4, but in 4 different ones, right? I cut that in half. So I've got 2 3x4 pockets to play with on either side. I originally was planning on using the full page protector and separating my photos and having one be the flip with the photos and then the journaling beside it. However, I decided it didn't need to be that complicated. I could just do a flip for each one of my kids with the journaling, and I had 2 photos, 1 journaling card for the story, and that's all that needed to be done, and didn't need anything extra. I didn't need to add what's happening. It's just kind of a currently page. I will kind of jot down some of their favorites and all of that. I do each one of the kids a little bit differently with my journaling. Jackson, the card that I found actually says 5 things, so I just wrote down 5 things in his life right now. My daughter, I just kind of wrote down some, like a paragraph of just kind of journaling and just kind of wrote out things, just kind of listed them, but in, a paragraph format. And then my little guy, I found, you'll actually see me write his out. I found this very colorful card, and I listed a few things. He's only 2. He doesn't have a whole lot going on. We still don't really go anywhere. So I just kind of listed a few fun things about him and what he's into and all of that. And I'm going to show you how I make my little flaps, my little flips. Very, very, very easy. And I'm sure I've shown them before, but sometimes I like to leave them in because everyone does them in different ways. You can take a full, so it would be, what would it be? It would be 2 inches wide by, 6. So it would be a 2x6, and you would just fold it in half, and that can create your flip. You absolutely could do it that way. I don't do it that way. I don't know why I don't do it that way now that I've said it out loud, but I don't. I simply use some washi tape, put the adhesive on, put the washi tape on, flip it over, take the tape off on the other side, and go like that. Flip it back over, add some more adhesive to the top of the washi tape, put my photo down, and that way I know nothing is going anywhere. It's the way I prefer to do it. Again, now that I've said out loud how you could do it by that 2x6 little piece of paper, I think it's the extra bulk because it would include 1 extra layer, and I try to take out the bulk in my album as much as possible. You'll notice with chipboard, anything that I can peel to make smaller, I will. I did that with my numbers for my day 8. I took off as many layers as I could, just try to reduce the bulk, because I am trying so hard to not have to make this into a 2 album. I've never gone into 2 albums yet, and I'm afraid if I do it this year, I won't go back, and I just cannot house 2 albums a year. I just can't do it. I don't have the space. So yeah, but that's how I do it. And then for the back one, because obviously I can't slip it in anywhere, I just literally tape that back photo to the page protector, so it's on the outside, but it doesn't bother me at all. And that's how I managed to make all of them flaps without having to slice into the page protector to slide the other photo in on the back there. All right, now just going to simply finish this off by adding a couple word stickers to the little tabs that I added. I did add them to all 3 of them. Realized with my daughters it didn't really work because then I couldn't flip up the one of my oldest, and so I ended up taking that out, and I'm going to add a little something else to cover up where I had to peel off the little tab. I print my photos out of the home. I print them at my local London Drugs, and I print them in it's called pearl print. But the moment anything sticky goes to that photo, it's not coming off. So you have to be very certain about what you're doing. And I was able to carefully get it off, but then of course it ruined some of the photos. So I just have to add something. And I find this, I think it says Merry and Bright, which is perfect because I still have a little flip up option there and it's not too much. And that's pretty much going to wrap up my day 8, with the exception that I'm going to just add this little fabric tag onto my number 8, so it's just a little bit more interest up there, something kind of exciting to finish it off. And I believe it says Holiday Story. Okay, so I have to skip day 9 and 10 because I don't actually have the photos for them yet. They're being printed. I have to go pick them up. I don't print from home. I send them off to my local London Drugs here in Canada and get them from there. I have better photo quality that way and all of that. But I'm going to place them in where they're going to go. Day 9 is about our elves, Max and Tilly, and day 10 is talking about Day of Red. So that brings us to day 9, which I do have the photos for, and what I'm working off of is the back of this card and this page protector. So that is where we're going to start. So if you're wondering why it jumped to 8 to 11 and we missed days 9 and 10, that is why. So let me get you back on fast forward and we'll wrap up today's video. All right, so on to day 11. This is documenting my work holiday party, and I have a few photos actually along with the menu. We had it hosted by so I work for a dental office, and the dentist, the owner of our practice, she has a very good friend at a restaurant, and so we had it the whole place to ourselves. It's this cute little coffee and cafe type thing. It was awesome. It was really cool. They've had it there before. I didn't go that particular year, so it was my first year going. The food was amazing. I don't think Sean and I think we were pretty much like, I don't think we've ever had steak that tasted as good as this. Like, it melted in our mouths. So it was an amazing meal, really fun. I got to sit next to the girls I work with up in reception areas. So it just was a ton of fun. And I really wanted to get it documented. I was able to get a photo of Sean and I together, and I printed that one in a large 6x8 format that I will trim down. You'll see that in a minute. And then I also snapped a photo of our dessert little tray that we got, and it was jam-packed with goodies. It was a really fun night. And I am not a nighttime person. Like, honestly, I'm normally in bed. I'm not necessarily sleeping, but I'm normally in bed by like 8 o'clock because we have very early risers in our family. So we're tending to be up about 4:30. And so nighttime is hard, and we're pretty introverted. So going out is not something, we just don't do it. It's just not for us. So it was nice to go out because, like I said, we don't do it very often. And so I kind of documented that, and I got the photos, trying to figure out what I want to do. I have 2 transparencies. I'm trying to see which one's going to fit best and going to work best. I really tried to make the clear one that says December Moments work because it kind of had that gold kind of class look to it that I'm pairing with this page protector. That's not a page protector. The Project Life card, the 6x8 card. It kind of just had the same feeling to it. So I'm trying to kind of pair it together. I'm going to scrap that and end up using the other one, and I'm going to be okay with that. I used 6 of the hearts there, which I love. Just kind of tuck them into the little 2x2 spots because I didn't want it to be overpowering with photos, so I felt that worked well. And then the 2x2 photos that I did use, you can see I cut those up and just actually added them right onto my journaling card. So that's all gonna work perfectly. I think I have my layout, the format of how I want it down. I just need to punch some holes and get things glued down and do a minimal amount of embellishing, just a few little touches, and then this page will come together. However, I cannot make anything simple, and so it takes me forever to figure out exactly what I want to do. But at least I now know that this is the right transparency. It says 'tis the season, and it's going to flip open, and then you'll see the photo of Sean and I, and then you'll flip it and you'll see the one of the desserts. That was part of my problem, was figuring out if I wanted the dessert one to be paired next to the menu or paired next to the other page protector that I was using. However, this is the flow that I feel works best. I'm going to add a chipboard sticker to the menu, and it just says eat, drink, and be merry. So that's really fitting. I think that's what it says. Yeah. I love it. It's just a little piece down there, balances it all off. I'm really happy with that. We're going to finally punch the holes. And yes, I punch a hole right in the middle of my face. No, it's not necessarily the perfect way to go about that. However, it is just a photo, and I am sure I will be scrapping this in a 12 by 12 format of the one of Sean and I, because we don't take a ton of photos together. So it's a special photo, and I'm okay that in my December daily, my face has a hole in it. Like it's totally fine. It's not a big deal. That was one of the reasons that I had planned on actually having it on the back, because then the holes would have gone to the other side and it wouldn't have gone into any of us. But again, totally fine. It doesn't matter. I'm going to add one of the little transparency trees there. So again, some simplicity going on. Really happy with that. Flip it over and going to figure out how to get this all down. And what I found is I have this piece of vellum that I received from Moira, and that is going to work like the flip I was talking about for the other ones, where I have it as the right size, and so it flips perfectly. I can add my photo to the top, my journaling at the bottom. As you can see that I trimmed it, and it's all going to fit perfectly. And I've got kind of a set flip there without having to add any of the washi tape. And in this particular instance, I needed that extra paper because my photo was not a full 4x6, so I needed something in the background. And it's nice and candy cane, and it's vellum, so I felt like it still kind of gave off that kind of party vibe there. The top photo is two of the lovely ladies that I work with at front in our dental office, and then there's a photo of the cafe, one of our appetizer tray, what do you call those? The cheese and meat tray that I cannot think of the word, and I can picture it and I know, but for the moment I can't think of the name of it. And then just a selfie of me that I snapped before we left. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's all coming together. My journaling kind of talks about how it's the first Christmas party I've gone to in a few years. 1 year, I just think we couldn't get sitting for the 3 kids. I think Barrett was still a little too little. And then last year was COVID, so obviously that didn't happen. And so it was nice to get out. And like I said, we're pretty introverted, so we don't tend to go out very often. And it was a nice evening, and that's kind of what I was talking about. I'm not going to do anything to these hearts other than add the number 11 to the bottom right hand one, and add another eat, drink, and be merry to the photo of the dessert tray. And then just a couple more little trees to kind of have that tie in from that front page to the back page. And really that is going to tie everything together and give off the vibes that I'm wanting. And then to completely tie it all in together, I'm going to add a little bit more of this gold trim. I did try to do the same idea with the little tab. Didn't like that, so I'm going to trim that off and just have a nice little gold border at the top, which then ties into the menu. Peeled off all the backings. Don't forget that these hearts have backings to them. And you guys, that I think finally is going to wrap this up. I'm going to place it in the album to make sure I'm happy with how it looks. I really am. It's a multiple page spread, which I don't tend to do a bunch of, but I felt like this one called for it. It's super interactive with the flip. Love the photo, even with the hole in my face. And there you go. Here is a look at the 2 projects. So we're at day 8 and day 11. I really enjoyed both of them. They're both got a interactive flap, which is really fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this one. Let me know what you think, what one's your favorite, and I will be back for 9 and 10. They will come up, I promise. I have the photos coming. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.